Welcome back to Steve and Nghi page today. I'm so excited today to bring a special guest, I should say a successful entrepreneur in our community, Mr. Raza, on the way from Toronto, Canada. Hi, Raza.
Hey, Nghi, how are you?
I'm very good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. Early morning, had my cafe, and I'm ready to go.
Perfect. Yeah. Also today on the live business talk with us, I would like to introduce my business partner, Miss Huyền, on the way from Vietnam to join us today, Raza. Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah,
Huyền.
we so admire you, and that's why we invite you today. Yeah.
Here we are.
So yeah, perfect. So first of all, I would like you to introduce about yourself with my audience today, Raza.
Sure, it's a pleasure meeting everybody. As I'm coming to you from Toronto, I live here with my wife. We've been married for 18 years, and we have a 13-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old rabbit. That's our
Wow.
little family here. Yeah, professionally, I used to be in HR, corporate world, long time ago. And years ago, I got this bug. There was a virus going around called entrepreneurship, and so I caught that, and it's been a journey. I've when I first stepped into being an entrepreneur, it was horrible. I mean, I could not make anything work. And until I met a man later on in life, and he said something to me that just made so much sense. And he said, Raza, you're trying too hard to figure things out. And he's like, the world has changed. You don't need to figure anything out. You need to find people. You need to find a person who can share his or her success blueprint with you. And all you got to do is just put the blinders on and just follow it. And, over the past 10, 11 years, that's all I've been doing. I find mentors, I find coaches, I ask them, what do they want me to do? And I just do it. That's it.
That's wonderful. Yeah, and for sure your story will very interesting and inspire. Like way for Raza's story coming. So yeah, Huyền, can you quick introduce yourself? And I know for sure you have a very interesting question for Raza today. Here we go. For your turn.
Yeah, surely. Hi, everyone. Hi, Mr. Raza, and hi, Miss Nghi. I'm so happy and so excited to join this live business talk on the page of Coach Nghi Hoàng today, and have chance to interview two successful global digital business owner and to experience coach in our community. It's my great honor, and thanks so much for this chance. And I would like to introduce a little bit about myself. And my name is Huyền, and I'm living in Hải Phòng City, Vietnam, and with my family. And I have two lovely teenager kids, and I'm a customer service manager with a full job, and I have more than 15 years experience in this field. And I'm also a global business owner. Yeah, that's all some things about me. And today I am so excited to have a questions for you, Mr. Raza, because it is a question that so many people who are interested in our business has asked me before. So this question is, this business is just suitable for women. How about your opinion?
Sorry, say the question again.
Yeah. The question is, they consider that our business is just suitable for women only.
Oh, for women only.
Yeah. How about your opinion?
Well, I ain't no woman. So here's the thing. I mean, business is a business. To me, business doesn't come with gender. You know, as long as you have an offer, a product or a service, and there is a group of people out there or a customer out there, my job here in this online business is that of marketing. So to me, I don't see it as a man's job or a woman's job or anything like that. There are many successful men and women who are doing a business online. And I think that's a very limited scope that people bring sometimes, that, oh, this is only for men or this is only for women. Business doesn't look at that stuff. That's how I would answer it.
Thanks so much for your sharing. As all of you here can see that Mr. Raza is a proof of the success that a man can achieve in this business, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yes. And also in our community, have many other men around the world have success in this business too.
Correct.
So
yes.
Our business is suitable for both men and women around the world and suitable for all of you, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And Mr. Raza, I also know that you are a full-time successful business owner and a professional coach that motivated us a lot. So and I please give us your advice that whether we should do the full-time or part-time with this business.
That's a tricky question. You know, I always ask this question. I remember when this was back in 2020, March. No, not March. It was May 2020. You know, prior to that, I had built a great career for myself as a professional speaker. I would travel to conferences and speak on the topics of marketing and branding and trading and all that fun stuff. And it was one of the biggest incomes in our household for my wife and I. And well, when the pandemic hit, there was no, events anymore. There was no traveling anymore. And this is where I had to look at, what else can I do? And I was looking at many options, and I came across this idea online that, hey, how about, have you ever thought about being a digital entrepreneur? I'm like, the thought did cross my mind. I didn't really, I hadn't pursued it. So I went down the journey. And I remember when I spoke to my coach and mentor in this community, I asked her, I said, how much time do I need to spend to build this business, right? Because I am already busy. At that time, I was looking to buy businesses, like local businesses here in Toronto. And I said, is this going to take me a lot of time? And she said to me that as long as you can dedicate, 2 hours a day, you should be okay. And quite frankly, that's all I've really done. It's the beautiful thing is, Hyun, as you know already, I mean, I can sit here for 5 hours, but there's nothing to do for 5 hours, right? The system does the work for you. And as long as you're doing a handful of things that are needed, I always say, there are 2 or 3 things that you really need to do. That doesn't take 5, 6, 8 hours to run. So if you've got a couple of hours that you can dedicate to building something, and I always say this, it doesn't have to be, we're not talking about you making millions of dollars and growing rich. I'm not even talking about that right now. What I am talking about is what if there was a possibility that you could spend 2 hours a day building a business that generates you same kind of income that your job does, right? Where you spend 8, 9 hours a day, right? If there was a possibility, would you pursue it? That's what it is.
Yes. the full time or part
Perfect.
time is depend on you. Yeah, it depend on all of you. And but just ready to start. That is one of the first steps to success. I think that, and very admire your success in this community, Mr. Raza. Yeah.
Thank you.
And how about Miss
Yeah,
Nghi?
thank you so much for your
Question?
answer and for your advice, Raza. That's wonderful. Definitely, we love it, right? Yeah, and you know, we think about the same thing too. But you know, like for you as a successful entrepreneur in our community, one more time, you know, like you tell everyone, my audience, and people around the world, yes, we can do whatever you want, right? Full time, part time, doesn't matter. For myself right now, I'm assistant manager for my full-time job, but actually I can do the online business too, because that's the wonderful system that we use right now. Perfect.
And you have kids.
Yes, I have
and
two
you're
kids.
married. And
yes.
I'm sure you have other things to do.
A lot of things for sure.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So the next question is a very interesting question, and I love that question. So I want to hear the answer from you, Raza. As a successful entrepreneur, right? I know that you have some experience that help you in this online world, but can you advise, tell us, what do we need in order to succeed in our business?
It's really simple. There are three things that are needed, right? Number one, well, actually, I'm going to make it four. Okay. Number one is you need to come with an open mind, right? Because I think that's one of the biggest things that anybody who does anything, and it doesn't matter whether you do this business or any other business, you have to come with an open mind. Because when you come with an open mind, you understand that there are skills to be learned, right? So that's number one. Number two, the first skill that you need to learn is social media marketing. We teach it to you. We have extensive training on it, all of that stuff. And really, you know, when I say social media marketing, I'm not talking about learning for the next like 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, and then start doing it. I'm talking about starting to learn and do it within the next week, right? So that's what we're talking about here. So that's skill number one. Skill number two, you need to learn how to use and leverage the digital advertising, right? With platforms like Google, YouTube, all of that, Facebook, all of those fun things. Now, again, I had never done it before. I was taught those things. There were short video tutorials, and I basically watched it in 30 to 45 minutes. I was running, you know, an ad. So that's doable, right? So that's skill number two. And skill number three is what I call learning to develop leadership skills. And leadership skills is really all about learning to lead yourself and lead a community, lead others who work with you. And I think that's very important in this day and age right now. And it doesn't matter where you are as a, you know, whether it's as a husband, as a, you know, as a wife, as, you know, as anything, you want to learn to become leaders. And I think those are the skills that you need. And it starts with having an open mind. So those are the things I would say that you need to bring to the table.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Because, you know, like that's quite, I bring the question because so many people ask us like, because you already have the experience, you good at that point, you get at this point, and you can do it. For us, we cannot do it. But again, my follower, did you hear that Raza said? Yeah, the first thing we need to open mind, right? Yeah. To, you know, to accept the new thing that we can learn and achieve whatever you need in life. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And yeah,
me, I'll add this one thing, you know, okay, when somebody points to somebody else and says, oh, you have the skill, that's why you're doing it, I think that's not an open mind. Because we all come from different backgrounds. I mean, your background, Nghi, is different than mine. Huan's background is different than mine, but we're at the same level, we're using the same platform, technology, all of that stuff, right? So,
Yes.
so I think it's a reflection of an open mind that
Correct.
we are here. And I think that's one of the first things. And if you're not open, I wouldn't say this business is for you.
Perfect. Perfect. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raza, I love about that our business because, as you said, right, we don't need to sit down there, learn for the next couple of years, and then we're done. Then we apply it. We don't need it. We just learn today and we apply, at the same time, right? I have experience for myself. I came to Canada with background auditing and accounting, but I cannot apply to Canada because I graduate from Vietnam, right? But after graduate from here, I cannot find a job. Even like I applied so many skills and I learned from Canada, but I failed. But in our business, right, when I jump in with no experience, but I can learn and I can achieve whatever I want in life. Yeah, exactly as Raza said. Yeah, you need to have open mind in the first part, right? Thank you, Raza. Huỳnh, you have a question for him?
Yeah, surely. Because I think that the many other audience here is also I think that wanted to ask these questions for Mr. Raza. That I and also many other admire you, but I wonder that why you choose this global business but not others and success in this. Why this?
That's an interesting question. I'm not sure why I get asked this question, because to me, an entrepreneur is a problem solver, right? So that's the definition of an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur just basically comes out and looks at a group of people and says, oh, this group of people have this problem. Let me go find a solution. So either they're going to make the solution or they're going to find a solution out there and bring it to that community. To me, back in 2020, I was in my head, I'm an entrepreneur and I want to solve my problem and other people who are like me, their problem as well. And so in that sense, this business model fit at that time. And that is one, I did not want to, if I was going to be a digital entrepreneur, I did not want to build websites and design sales funnels. I didn't want to do that. I did not want to, at that time, write a webinar and do the webinar. I did not want to start from scratch and build a Facebook group, all of that stuff. I wanted these things done for me so that I could use them. I wanted to do the fun part, which is marketing. Right? Like that's I enjoy that part. And that's what I wanted to do. And that's why I chose to leverage an entire system here. Where else could I, spend an hour or 2 hours, just putting in my, due diligence, putting my work in there, and then having the system continue to work for me. And I think that's the beauty around this thing. So to me, I look at opportunities. To me, I look at, how effective I can be with my time. And that's why I was here, because this fit the mold.
Very interesting staring. Yeah, I also love this perfect system a lot. Yeah, it's have not only me but also other business owner step to step by step to the success. It's an easy way than other. Yeah,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing that I look for when I'm looking at small businesses out there. People sometimes ask me, it's like, why am I interested in buying businesses, or why do I look at, small businesses out there, and why not start one? To me, when a business already exists, there's systems in place. Systems are already there. Customers are there. The system is there. The technology is there. All of those things. I just come and leverage it, So hard work was already done. And that's the same thing here. The gentleman that created the system, they had already done the hard work. And so who am I to come and, start something from scratch? I've got a system in place and it allows me to be efficient with my time.
That's great.
Not take too much time. Yeah, not too much time. Just 1 or 2 hours a day that we can learn and we can do it this. Even with the full-time jobs as me and or as Miss Nghi. Yeah, right. It's a very perfect system. Yeah.
Raza, I know that's more than 20 minutes already, but I want one more question for you before we end that live interview, because I already asked you about the success, right? And I also want to ask you about the define of the failure, because you know what? There are so many people, they haven't success in the one that they choose yet. So they come to our business. They want to explore, they want to take action, but you know, they still afraid that they will fail again. So for you as the successful entrepreneur, how you look at the failure thing?
Wow, that's such a big topic.
I know, eh?
So I think, and here's what I would say, you know, life in general, you know, it doesn't matter whether it's business or personal life. I think life in general is just a huge series of setbacks and obstacles and challenges and all of that stuff. And there are brief moments of successes, right? So majority of it is a challenge, and then there's brief moments of success. And I think people live their life in their head the opposite way. That, you know, most of the time, everything is successful with brief moments of hardships and challenges. That's not how life is. I mean, at least that's not how my life is. So when you know that every big thing, everything that is going to grow, you know, whether it's your body, whether it's your mind, whether it's your business, if it's going to grow, it's going to come up against resistance and obstacles and setbacks. It is bound to happen. And like when I go to the gym and I lift weights, there is pain, you know, there's resistance. Like that's how the muscle grows, right?
Yes.
And in business, that's what it is. People come across this resistance in business. They're like, oh, this is too hard, I'm going to give up. If you use that same philosophy everywhere, you'll never get anywhere, right? So I think that is the simplicity in life, and that is the tough lessons in life, that we are constantly growing when we come across resistance. When people come across resistance, they think they need to give up. And that is why a lot of people experience setbacks, because it doesn't matter where they go, setbacks and challenges show up. I think we need to learn as human beings, and especially in the day and age that we live right now, I think embracing setbacks and challenges and becoming stronger as we deal with them is the mindset that we want to have, is the education that we want to have. The beautiful thing of having a mentor, a coach, is that if you are going to work at something and you are going to have, let's say, I don't know, 100 setbacks, for example, if you're working on your own, with a mentor, with a coach, you're not going to have 100, you will have 50, right? So you're still going to experience some setbacks, but that is part of your development and learning. So that's what I would say.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Raza.
You're welcome.
I love it. I love it. I know that is just topic. Yeah, and you can share with us more and more than that. But because of the limited of the time, and yeah, we have to end the live interview today. And for sure, in the near future, we have a chance to invite you again, and we want to hear more and more the advice from the successful entrepreneur in our community. Again, Raza, thank you. We appreciate your time, especially our time zone is different. But you know, Yeah, you're so helpful, sharing so many great idea. And yeah, I hope you have a great weekend and lot of successful coming to
Thank
you.
Same to you,
You
ladies. It was a
Thank you
pleasure
so
speaking
much.
to you and your followers here. So thank you so much for being
Yeah,
for having
thank you
me.
so much. Yes, yeah, and yeah, we end the live interview today, and we hope all of you have a great weekend, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye, everyone.